Hello everybody, welcome to my next episode of some Splain'n that I'm going to be doing. It is a title I gave to my vlog. This is the video in this series, I guess you could say, although it is a working title, is going to be where I just talk about random stuff that is not channel related. Some channel related, some mostly just me related. And I'll usually take some time to talk about some experiences that I've had, and maybe somebody will get some stuff out of it, maybe they won't. Also, I'll be describing some stuff that's going to be going on the channel as well, so there's quite a bit to talk about, so let's dive right in, shall we? Alright, first of all, the first thing I want to talk about is my console Let's Plays. Unsurprisingly, expecting another hiatus. Oh my god, I'm not surprised either. But unfortunately, my headset doesn't work. It doesn't work, it stopped working, and I can't hear audio in it anymore, and sometimes the mic works, and it's a mess, and it's irritating. So, for the time being, it doesn't look like I'm going to be doing any more console Let's Plays for a while. Not unless I can get a setup working on my big computer, but that's going to require me making room for systems, and there's not a lot of room where I'm at, unfortunately. I thought about moving my computer, but that would put me away from the router, which is part of the problem. Well, would be a problem, obviously. But, so, until further notice, those will be on hold unless I could figure out something or get the freaking Yeti to work on the Mac, but because for some reason the damn thing just doesn't work, and I don't know why, but it just refuses. I'm going to try to fuck with it some more. I'll let you guys know in another update coming up in a little while, probably within the next week or so, hopefully, more information on that after I done fiddle with it, because I got a lot of stuff coming up on school. It's going to require most of my time. So, geez, sorry. A majority of my uploads are going to be Minecraft for the time being. Unfortunately, because I love freaking AT Launcher and all of its mod goodness, and I've been having a lot of fun with mod hoarding. So I hope to continue to do that for quite a while, hopefully, because it's really easy to do and really easy to edit. Easy-ish, I say. Takes a while, but it doesn't take that long. In addition to that, me and Alan are finally doing another co-op. It's kind of a podcast thing. This Victory Cast is what I'm calling it, where we just play games together. It's not really Brofist or anymore. We decided to try to give that up. Sorry, my voice is getting rough. I'm hitting puberty finally, guys. It's happened. 26. It's about time. But no, yeah, it's pretty much all I'm planning on doing with the channel. I'll talk a little bit more about the channel later, but the only thing I really wanted to say is that the console Let's Plays are going to go on a hiatus for a while because of school and all that other stuff, which will segue into what else I want to talk about. School. Lots of things are going to happen this year for me. This is going to be a very definitive year for me. It's going to define a lot what happens to me in the future. In my upgrowings, because that's a word now. That's all my college book learns at work there. I just created a new word. That's critical thinking at its finest. I'm going to graduate in May, which is great. I'll still have a couple classes to take afterwards, but I'm going to be making a lot of decisions this year, so it's going to be an interesting process. And after the, I've had some good times and some bad times at OSU, mostly bad, as far as the administrative goes, but it's finally going to be over, and I will be graduated with a piece of paper in my hand that says, hey, I put through 4 years of absolute bullshit. How excited am I? Fairly excited. Not going to lie. Then with that, as far as like what I'm going to do with it, I don't know. Which brings me to what I want to kind of talk about for a minute, is seeing as how I've already talked about school once in my personal experience with elementary school, I thought it only appropriate to talk about my college experience. And let me tell you, it's not all it's banged up to be. Now, if you go in as sort of with the mentality of partying, good on you, because you'll probably get quite a bit of it done. And if you're managed to find a balance in it, that's fine. But personally, I've never been a huge partier. I'm very introvert. I won't lie. I'm fairly introverted. I have no inkling to go out and mingle with people in the bar scene, especially bars. But and that's cool. That's awesome. I think it's a good experience for a lot of people to go to college. But the thing I want to talk about is like the idea of going to college, because from what I understand, in growing up, you know, going to high school and all this other stuff, you're kind of fed, you know, college, like, is just kind of fed it to you in a spoon the entire time. You're basically, they keep reinforcing the fact that you're building up to go to college, like, starting out from, like, freaking middle school. And I think that's a bit presumptuous, because I don't think that college is for everybody. And everyone who's, I mean, people I'm sure that don't want to go to college know that, but there's a lot of people out there that I'm sure are going through the same experiences that I went through, going through high school and hearing it from your parents and your grandparents and your friends or whatever, that college is the thing to do. You know, you're supposed to go to university and you're supposed to get a piece of paper and all this other stupid stuff. Well, I think that it's silly in that what I would tell those people is that I would ignore them for the most part. Well, I don't mean ignore them. Take it with a grain of salt. They're going to make it sound like, at least it did for me, they make it sound like this is your only option. You have to go to college because this is the only way to succeed. This is not true. Not true. Not true. Success, to me, is finding a job that just makes me happy, you know? Not something that pays me hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, which would be nice, but it's more an aim to try to find something you enjoy. And the way the job market is, and the way that people sometimes pressure their children and everybody they know into college, kind of makes them not think about that. Because, like, for me, I went to college because I knew I wanted to study psychology since, like, 7th grade. But there's some people that I'm sure didn't really know what they wanted to do. And, you know, maybe they wanted to take some time to think about it or whatever before they decided to go to college, because there's other options to consider. But no, you know, like, you know, college, even the state is like, here's some scholarships, you got to use them or lose them. And I think it's really kind of asinine to expect somebody to know exactly, you know, plan for plan what you want to do. And it has to be, well, isn't the majority of the time it's like, it has to be which college, you know, what are you going to do in college? Why does it have to be college? Why can't it be tech school? Why can't it be an internship? Why couldn't it be an apprenticeship? I don't know. Why couldn't it be, like, anything else? It seems viably. It would be an entrepreneurship. Maybe you decide, hey, I want to have this idea for a show, like most YouTubers, you know? They start out this way. They're like, well, I'm going to start out doing this and because I enjoy it, and I'll see if I can't make something of it. Because there's plenty of animators and YouTubers out there that think to themselves, you know, I really like doing this, and I really want to see if I can't do something with this. And if I try hard enough, I know I can. And now with the way the technology is, I mean, and the way that YouTube is being run, it's possible to actually earn a living doing that. So you have those people that are in high school or whatever. It's just one example. Like, this is something you're really passionate about, and yeah, it might not get you a lot of money, but it's something that that you enjoy. And to do that thing you enjoy, even if you don't make a lot of money, is still, to me, it would be considered successful. So the idea of success, for me, is more, you know, of a personal level, whereas society would say that success is being wealthy or having enough money to pay for stuff. You know, having enough, like, I understand having money to survive is a good thing to have, but at the same time, they seem to bend it down all the way to money, and I think that's just kind of sad. I don't know. Maybe everyone else's college experience or upbringing towards college was different, and I think that's cool. But I mean, at the same time, I feel like tech schools kind of get shit on because of it, and I think that's not right. I mean, yeah. Because, like, there's plenty of options with tech schools just as much as there are college. In fact, part of me thinks that it almost would be more worthwhile to go to a tech college or tech school, because you're being taught a trade. You're getting hands-on experience. You need to know your craft, like, intimately. Whereas you go to college, and most times you're studying a course just by skimming off the top of the, you know, information that actually is there. So, like, you know, you go to tech school, and it's about one specific direct, you know, arrow shot into one topic, one thing to master. Whereas if you go to college, it's a bunch of classes that vaguely have something to do with what you're interested in. It might get you, like, a state level entry job. Whereas, you know, you work as like car repair at a tech school, you probably get a job and you start making money, like, right off the bat. And people like college people and high schools will sit there and tell you, no, you need to go to college and not tech school, or use it to supplement your college. Don't just go to tech school because this is the way the job market is. I think it's more worthwhile to go to tech school. And that, my friends, that is my opinion. And I'm sticking to it. But yeah. I just wanted to talk a minute about that. I thought it was important because I'm coming to the end of my college career. And I want to vent to everybody that having been through it, and I've had some hiccups, quite a few hiccups actually, been through a lot, both with relationships, with work, with school, stuff like that. I've had financial issues where I ran out of money for a semester. I had to take off a semester. You guys remember that? Against my will. I had no other choice. I had to stop. Because the way that my college is being paid for, it's very complicated, but it basically the money that was there is not there anymore. And yeah, had to wait a while, then I had to take it up again. It's been a mess. It's been a mess. The college that I went to was a bit of a nightmare for me, and it started a long time ago. God, it started like back in 2009, something like that. Okay, well, the way my college career started, and I was built up, like I said, 7th grade on to say, you got to go to college. Now, for me, it was interesting because it was like, okay, I'm interested in psychology. I knew that since 7th grade. So I was like, I'll be able to reinforce that. But, of course, then I learned later on that, guess what, Kyle? The 4 years in psychology ain't going to get you bumpkiss. Ain't going to get you a freaking job in psych. Dream on. Dream on. You're not going to do anything cool. You got to have like a freaking PhD. You got to spend your entire life there. And I'm just like, it's not worth it. No, thank you. But if I was armed with the knowledge that I know now, would I go to college? And yes, because I had the opportunity and I would take it. But if I didn't have the resources that I have now, then I probably wouldn't have went. But anyways, it started for me in high school. I was introduced to this thing called the Gateway Program, which was really cool. I started out in a community college where you do your first 2 years there, and then you go on to bigger colleges, which is the 4-year, and you're supposed to continue your 4-year college there. And it was great the first 2 years. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I loved that college. It was a little community college, just off the brim of the bigger college, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. I mean, it was one of those schools like you felt really cool going to. I don't know, because like the teachers are really nice and really cool, and the classes are really small, and you felt a bit inclusive because like there are not a lot of people that were going, but you were like, yeah, you know, I get to experience this. And I noticed this in the first year, because the first year I went there, you know, the people numbered 400, 500. But by the time that I left, there had to have been like 6,000. I mean, the amount of people that were enrolled, it just jumped. Because it was like its first year whenever I first started, second year, something like that. But it did exceedingly well. I enjoyed it then until I went over to the bigger campus. And the problems, well, let me just tell you a few that I had with the college that I went to. I remember I might have talked about these at some point in some of my videos, but to sum them up, what happened originally is I put in my transfer request from the community college to the bigger college, to the 4-year, and I sent everything off. I sent my application fee and whatever, and I get a phone call saying that, oh, your application fee is not there. And I'm like, you guys gave me a receipt? No. And like, oh, well, you're gonna have to give us $25 or something like that. I don't remember how much it was. I was like, great, okay, fine, I'll come pay it. So I go and pay them, and like, oh yeah. So they gave me the folder. They gave me the folder with everything in it, and I was like, okay, here's my money, and fuck off, basically. And they said, okay. So I look at the folder, and I noticed something as I was putting my money in. That they were waiting for. Well, what I saw in there, and this is going to be important later, what I saw in there was a sheet of my application. There was a transcript from my previous school, and then there was a copy of my. Wasn't the copy? Yeah, it was. It was a copy of my associate's degree from the other college. So I signed it on there. I looked on there and I noticed something. They marked me female. Why? I don't know, but they did. Maybe it was just a Monday detail. I don't know what it was, but I said, hey, you kind of marked me female there, and he's like, oh, my bad. So they refilled it out, and they took the money or whatever. So I went away, and this is about midsummer. A couple weeks go by, and it's getting closer to the semester, and I get a call from him again saying, oh, we were trying to go through your process. Yes, it's been a couple weeks. Trying to go through the application process, and noticed that we haven't received a high school transcript yet. And I said, you don't need one. It's like, I was like, you don't need my high school transcript because you have my college transcript. You have my college, this right in there. It's like the second page. And then behind that is this goddamn associate's degree. How did they? So they're like, oh, our mistake. Oh, yeah, they made me come in first. They made me come in. It was as they're closing. I walk in the office. They hand me the folder and say, you know, I'm like, cause I'm at this point, I'm pretty pissed off. I open the folder, and because I remember seeing it, and I pointed out to him. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. We'll get this fixed up for you. I'm like, thank you. And I'm just like, I don't fucking lose it. So he's like, so I'm like, okay, so all I have to do, got that all the way. And I get notified finally that I was accepted. Thank God. I was getting really pissed off by now. It's about a week before class. Okay. And you got to sign up for these orientations. You know, anybody's ever gone to college will go through an orientation. It's basically where you get in with a group of people and you get to see the school or whatever, and where all the classroom buildings are and all that crap. And I got, so basically the lady that was running it, the first student orientation or whatever, they'll set it up for you. And I said, okay, cool. She's like, you've been accepted. We'll let you know when your orientation date is. I'm like, okay, so it's like a week and a half before school, week before school. I didn't hear anything yet. So I'm like getting a little worried. So I called them up, and I'm like, hey, wondering when my orientation is. You got any information on that? Blech. She's like, yeah, let me look you up real quick. Oh. And I'm like, well, oh? And they're like, yeah, we forgot to give you one. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Or it wasn't like that. It was something similar. I can't exactly remember what happened, but I think somewhere between giving my application process, the application process being accepted, and the orientation saying they've lost my file or something. It was something really stupid. And I was like, okay, fine. Well, they're like, oh, well, okay, fine. This is fine. We'll get you set up with an orientation date, and you'll have it in the mail, all the information you know, within a couple days. And I said, okay, fine. So I wait a couple days, and I get a letter in the mail, and I'll use this example. I don't have any piece of paper with me. I open the mail. There's 2 cards. For some reason, I don't have them over here. I opened the mail, and I looked in there, and I was like, okay, orientation date. Oops. Uh-oh. I look at the date, and it is... The orientation had ended 2 days ago. You fucking kidding me? So I drive over there, and I'm like, okay, a little bit of problem. The orientation date isn't happening. It's already happened. What do I do? And they're like, oh, don't worry. We'll set you up with an orientation date before school starts. Don't worry. And I'm like, okay. This is, just like fucking, 5 days before school starts. And they give me another letter the next day. I get another letter, and the orientation is 3 days before school starts. Why is this a problem? Well, I was livid when I went in there because you can't enroll until after you get orientated. So I had 3 days to enroll in the classes, most of which were gone by now. I was thrilled because I had already taken my gen ed classes. Yep, and that pretty much that's what set the tone for the entire anything I had to do with the administration was shit. It was awful, especially with money. It was great. I don't recommend it. I mean, just make sure you dot all your T's and cross your I's and keep everything on file, because I guarantee you some colleges are just frivolous with your stuff. Don't even be started on the technical aspects, because you have your websites. Oh my goodness, your online classrooms. It's fun stuff, let me tell you. Anyways, I think I've vented enough about that. What I'm trying to say with all this crap is that college isn't for everyone, and if you don't want to go to college, don't feel ashamed of it, okay? There's plenty of other stuff to do. Just try to find something you enjoy and pursue it, if it doesn't turn out to find lucrative, then have a backup plan, but I mean, there's no reason you should feel bad for not wanting to go to college, because it's not for everybody. It's not. And it's silly to think that you have to go to college, because you don't. There's other things you could do. And that is my 2 cents right there. There it is. That's one of them. There's the other one. There's the other 2 cents. It's a tap on the table. Anyways, I think that's enough ranting for me today. Before I go, I do want to mention a couple of other things. A couple shout-outs, if you will. Alan has started a new channel called AMKJ, or Alan McIncuff Jigs. His entire name, you know his name, steal his identity now. If you can, bravo, I guess. Oh, he's starting. He got a partnership with Frederator and he's put up a cool video of a vlog that he did, and the link to the channel/video might be in the description. Maybe just the channel, if I remember. It's gonna try to be both. Also, I want to give a shout out to. I want you guys to go check out, if you watch this, to check out a channel called Demon Explosion, which is being done by my girlfriend's brother and some of his friends. It's cool stuff. Check it out. He does a little bit more modern stuff than I do. He's just starting out, so pace might be a little bit slow at first, but definitely worth a checking out. Yes. Anyways, also, so that all been said, I thank everybody for watching. And listening, in fact, and watching whatever is going on in the background. I haven't decided what exactly is going to go on back there. Either City Skylines or Minecraft and Creative. I'll be building a snow shrine or little snow village in honor of the snowmen from the Stick People. The snowmen from the mod hoarding series. Snow people, I'm going to try to do that. If not, it's fine. We'll see. You'll be surprised. I don't really know either. Anyways, with that said, expect more Minecraft out, and I think that's all I have to say. Thanks for sitting and listening to me, and I'm sure there will be another one of these coming out fairly soon, as things are about to start happening in regards to me and recording. So I don't know all the details yet, or what I'm going to be doing, or what's going to happen, but I will make sure to let you guys know as soon as I know. So until then, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.